It's the hashtag Simply Cyber, COMMUNITY. Here to break the cycle, this is vital more than you and I. Yeah, it's exciting, it don't matter what your title is. You can grab a friend or two or three or four and invite them in. It's the Simply Cyber, bring a good vibe. It's the live with Jerry every morning, having good time. And you know we love to see for you, just gotta go and get it. Yeah, you know we all believe in you, it's time to grow together. It's the Simply Cyber, bring a good vibe. It's the live with Jerry every morning, having good times. And you know we love to see for you, just gotta go and get it. Yeah, you know we all believe in you, it's time to grow together. Dr. Auger is a OG, got that potion, the elixir, got devotion to all those who keep on showing up to witness. Spit the tricks and quips and all the tips to raise your cyber fitness. Switching up the routines, pass it off to James and quicker. Keep the people smiling, hit that follow, that's a good decision. Every week, today, tomorrow, I encourage y'all to listen. We gon' teach y'all way more than how to protect yourselves from phishing. More like being confident so you can recognize the vision. On a mission, it's official, we gon' get through all these issues. Time for jaw jacking, baby, this is more than a tradition, yeah. Oh, I can't forget to recognize the mods. They the engine, they the reason that you leave it feeling charged. It's a Simply Cyber, bring a good vibe. It's a live with Jerry every morning, having good time. And you know we love to see for you, just gotta go and get it. Yeah, you know we all believe in you, it's time we grow together. It's a Simply Cyber, bring a good vibe. It's a live with Jerry every morning, having good times. And you know we love to see for you, just gotta go and get it. Yeah, you know we all believe in you, it's time we grow together. Yeah. What else can I say? I hope you find some value in this place and have yourself an awesome day. Simply Cyber's here to stay. So let's all put our hands together ready. Time to hang with Dr. A.
Alrighty, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the party. Today is Tuesday, February 18th, 2025. This is episode 816, 17, 18. It's in the 800 teens, definitely for sure, of your Simply Cyber Daily Cyber Threat Brief podcast. And I am Two Thumbs, All Smiles, your host for the next hour, Dr. Gerald Auger. And alongside me are regulars and good time Team SC community members like DJ BSEC behind the glass, Jenny Housley and Mauchet, Red Ant, Mia Dubs, Code Brew in the upstate, Port Zero also in the upstate, Augusta Del Gala, Onatola, Aguindola, Lara, Flores, my man James Randolph with that blue badge action, Michael Gutierrez, Jay, Ian, Michelle, the Cyber Freak, good morning with that coffee cup. Guys, we are all going to be shredding the top cybersecurity news stories of the day. And I will be doing everything within my power to distill cyber risk reduction guidance and actionable intelligence for you to take forward at work today, this week, this quarter, this year, strategic planning or tactical execution. We got you covered because that's what we do here. Deliver straight value like a bunch of bosses. Now, I want you to know that I don't research or prep for any of the stories that we're going to be covering in the next hour because honestly, ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. We're setting up for Zero Trust World. I got all the gear. You might notice the lighting is a little different today. My lights are missing because they're packed in a bag right there. All this gear is there. Going to be hopping in the whip and rolling down 95 at 80 miles an hour, screaming money ain't a thing. Not really. I will have the windows up and I'll be actually climate controlled and feel quite nice. And I'll be listening to a Brandon Sanderson audiobook. But that doesn't change what we're doing here right now. Guys, I am so excited. If you're a regular here, drop a hashtag Team SC. What's up, Suyokti and FedEx, Chris K. Hall. Always good to see you, Stones fan out in Phoenix. Alpha Sierra is our drum major. She's doing what she's doing. And guys, if you're over on LinkedIn, you're more than welcome to party with us. Okanu Nelson, Deshar Dennison. But just teaser, Simply Cyber over on YouTube is pretty hot.
That Hansel's so hot right now.
Now, I want to say shout out and love to the stream sponsors. Those partners that I, basically vet myself and use in many instances, including Antisyphon, who I've taken multiple trainings from, Threat Locker, who I'm going to Zero Trust World today, Delete Me, who I use personally, Flare, who I love, and Barricade Cyber Solutions, who is a dear, dear member and friend. Let's do the ad rolls really quickly. When I come back, I'm going to have David P., Space Tacos, Runner, Rummerfield, The Pain, Life with George all have their socks blown off as I explain how CPEs are going to be a thing of the past as far as fretting over them, because we got you covered here. Let's go. As a person that exists publicly, especially since I share my opinions and hot takes daily, I'm hyper aware of my safety and security, and it's even easier to find personal information about people online these days. All the data is just hanging out there on the internet, and it can have real life consequences. But I recently found a solution, and this service is called Delete Me. Delete Me is a subscription service that removes your personal info from the largest people search databases on the web, and in the process helps prevent ID theft, doxing, phishing scams, stuff like that. And when you sign up, you tell Delete Me what data you want deleted, and they go off and do it. The cool thing is you get a personalized privacy report every month that shows what they deleted, where they found it, etc. It's pretty cool. For me personally, it's like outsourcing your online privacy, which honestly, I don't have time to do that myself or do it well. So for them to handle it is awesome. Take control of your data and keep your private life private by signing up for Delete Me now at the special discount for Simply Cyber listeners. The only way to get 20% off is to go to joindeleteme.com/simplycyber and enter code simplycyber at checkout. That's joindeleteme.com/. I want to give some love to the Daily Cyber Threat Brief sponsor, ThreatLocker. Do zero-day exploits and supply chain attacks keep you up at night? Well, worry no more. You can harden your security with ThreatLocker. Worldwide, companies like JetBlue trust ThreatLocker to secure their data and keep their business operations flying high. ThreatLocker takes a deny-by-default approach to cybersecurity and provides a full audit of every action allowed or blocked for risk management and compliance. Onboarding and operation is fully supported by their US-based Cyber Hero support team. Get a free 30-day trial and learn more about how ThreatLocker can help prevent ransomware and ensure compliance. Visit ThreatLocker. Do you want cutting-edge, high-quality cybersecurity education regardless of financial position? Check this out. I want to give some love and some praise to Antisyphon Training, powered by Black Hills Information Security. Antisyphon Training is absolutely disrupting the traditional cybersecurity training industry by providing high-quality, cutting-edge education to everyone regardless of financial position. They bring industry professionals with years and years of experience into the classroom to teach you and anyone else who's interested practical skills that are in demand in the market today. And on top of that, the student experience is amazing as you and hundreds or thousands in some instances of other students are actively engaging, networking, sharing tips, tricks, and experiences with each other all live in the classroom. Go to antisyphontraining.com, check out their course calendar to see what courses they have coming up next. You won't regret it. All right, so we're crushing it. We are off and running now. I want everyone to know every single episode of the Daily Cyber Threat Brief is worth half a CPE. So say what's up in chat, grab a screenshot, whether you're on your mobile, you're on your phone, you're on your mobile, you're on your television, you're on your workstation, wherever you are. I mean, if your Kimberly can fix it, you're on the lanai watching it on a big TV hung up by the pool. Maybe you take a screenshot with your phone, which is a little meta and a little Inception-like. But you know what? When you got the cool breeze of the Atlantic floating over you, and you hear the rustle of palm trees, you got to do what you got to do. Guys, we are going to be crushing it. Today, I got to tell you, see the chat right above me? That's where you can take a screenshot. Make sure that your name is in here. Hey, Lupe Peterman. It's been a minute, Lupe, but it's great to see you. Yeah, just grab a screenshot with your name in there. So make sure your name's there for the evidence in the event that you ever get audited, okay? It's as simple as that. Now, I really do want to say really quickly, if today is your first episode, welcome to the party, pal. I don't know if it's confirmed if it's the first episode, but Dad Bod Medic sitting in the ambulance right now, watching us, probably on his mobile. Welcome to the party, pal. Welcome to the party, pal. We love welcoming our first-timers. I'm just going to make the assumption that Dad Bod Medic is a first-timer. So if you are a first-timer, drop it in chat, hashtag first-timer. So happy to have you guys. We got work to do, though, so do me a favor. Sit back, relax, and let's let those cool sounds of the hot news wash over all of us in an awesome wave. I will see each of you at the mid-roll. Let's go.
From the CISO series, it's cybersecurity headlines.
These are the cybersecurity headlines for Tuesday, February 18th, 2025. I'm Sean Kelly. Dutch police take down Z servers. Last Wednesday on cybersecurity headlines, we reported that the US, UK, and Australia sanctioned a Russian bulletproof hosting service, Z servers, and 2 Russian administrators for supporting Lockbit's ransomware operations. Authorities said Z servers advertised its services on cybercriminal forums to avoid investigations and takedowns. Now, Dutch police have announced that after more than a year-long investigation, it has seized 127 servers from the Russian hosting provider. Authorities so far have discovered hacking tools from Conti and Lockbit and continue to investigate the remaining data stored on the seized servers.
Awesome. Okay, first of all,
Regulators!
Kyle was quick to the regulators comment. Love it. All right, so check it out. First of all, F around and find out. Dude, with some of these services like, stressor services for denial of service attack, and then infrastructure hosting, but bulletproof hosting, you do have a thin line of plausible deniability to run a legitimate business and be like, oh, we had no idea that some of our customers using our infrastructure were hosting criminal infrastructure. But F around and find out when you go onto dark web forums and basically market yourself as a partner for crime, it's not going to work. Now, what ended up happening in this instance is that Canadian law enforcement, hold on.
Did we just become best friends? Yep.
The real Bilbo up in chat. Hold on 1 second. Bro, let me like that. The real Bilbo in chat. Regulators mount. Oh, wait, first of all.
Did we just become best friends? Yep.
Regulators mount up. Welcome to all the first timers. Wheels up on the way to Orlando. Seat 3B was taken, and it wasn't McQuiggan. Unfortunately, put this towards the ZT dubbed coffee fund. Thank you very much, Real Bilbo, and I will see you myself in person at Zero Trust World. Looking forward to it. So, basically, law enforcement busted down somebody's, operation, and they found a laptop that was connected back into the Z server infrastructure using IP addresses. Obviously, law enforcement wants to track down where these threat actors are operating. What I do find interesting is that this was in Russia, and somehow the Canadian law enforcement, alongside probably other international law enforcement, hold on, does it say? Yeah, it says Dutch police. So somehow the Dutch get involved. I don't know. Like, I don't understand how law enforcement works. Like, Canada found this thing, and then it's in Russia, and they're like, hey, can the Dutch get in here? Now, the bulletproof hosting is just infrastructure. So just think about it this way. Okay, this is kind of the lesson learned more for like first timers or new to the industry. But like, if you're gonna host a criminal enterprise, especially ransomware as a service, where you've got to have people log in, it's just like any SaaS product, right? It's just that the product is crime. You got to be able to handle communicating with victims. You got to be able to handle allocating, like say 1 Bitcoin comes in and you take 30% for yourself and 70% goes to your affiliate. You got to be able to handle that, track, keep metrics, cash flow, like if they're marketing on dark web forums, you got to pay somebody to go do the marketing, right? So it's just a full on business. So, that's the Z server stuff. My point is, you need infrastructure, just like me and you might use M365 or AWS. Criminals need to use one too, and hopefully be bulletproof so they don't get taken down by law enforcement, much like this. Now, what's wild is normally you see the infrastructure kind of at the, for lack of a better term, the host level get taken over, i.e. law enforcement has seized this domain, law enforcement has seized this dark web marketplace, but the underlying infrastructure isn't always confiscated. Look at this picture. These are servers. That's all data. Like, this is like, dude, I don't know if you guys did this when you were young, but like some Easters, the Easter bunny might hide like a big giant egg. So you got a bunch of like the multicolored rainbow eggs, but then there's like one super giant golden one that maybe has like a $5 bill in it or something like that. Or like, a pack of Pokemon cards, like something sick, right? And every kid's like scratching like Dave Chappelle, like, oh man, got to get that gold egg, right? This is that, like getting all these servers. Now, if they've encrypted the data at rest, well, then law enforcement's going to have some challenges, but that introduces a different level of digital forensics. DJ BSEC also points out, and I agree with this, depending on how good Z server was, they may have a business continuity plan if they have some GRC mafia up on them, up in their ranks, right? I don't know if anyone here, GRC mafia's turned to the dark side and has joined like Sauron's army or whatever. But if there's a GRC person on the Z server team, then they probably have a backup plan and they're executing it. I would argue that this is more disaster than business continuity, but I digress. This is a win for us. This was hosting lots of malicious infrastructure, not just one ransomware gang, but like ransomware gangs. It's Levincia says, good morning, guys. I'm so excited to say that I just got accepted for our cybersecurity development internship. And I wanted to thank hashtag Team SC and Gerald for the support and tools. It's Levincia on behalf of the entire Simply Cyber community.
I came in like a wrecking ball.
Yes, sir. Nice job. Crush it. Destroy that internship. I can't encourage you enough to overachieve in that internship, because a lot of times you can parlay it into like a full-time opportunity if you want, or the people that are seeing you, trust me, people are watching. And if you are exceeding expectations and taking initiative and being awesome, it will pay dividends. Believe me. Consider this a foot in the door. And if for the pen testers in chat who are kind of hovering, this right here, getting an internship, is the same as a foothold into an organization's network. You gotta move laterally from there. All right, let's keep going. Oh, by the way, the TLDR for everybody on this story is this is a win for us. Less criminals, but it doesn't stop anything. This kind of just slows the battle down, okay? This is essentially the same thing as like at the end of Empire Strikes Back when like Luke falls and he's hanging underneath the Cloud City Bespin and the Millennium Falcon comes up and drops him and picks him up. Spoiler alert, by the way, if you haven't watched Star Wars Empire Strikes Back in the last 40 years, get ready for the spoiler. Like Luke just found out Darth Vader's his dad and he's like emotionally distraught, but they get away, but he's all jacked up, able to live a fight another day. Z servers here, this is basically them hanging off underneath the Bespin cloud. There's a potential that they're going to be able to recover, but it's going to take some time. Let's go.
Chase will soon block Zelle payments to sellers on social media. JP Morgan Chase Bank says that starting March 23rd, it will begin delaying, declining, or blocking Zelle payments to social media contacts. Zelle is a popular digital payment network that integrates with mobile apps of many U.S. banks. Chase updated their user policy saying Zelle should not be used to buy goods from retailers or merchants, including on or through social media or social media marketplaces or messaging apps. Nearly 50% of all Zelle or wire transfer scams reported by Chase customers in the second half of last year originated on social media. Chase's policy change also comes on the heels of a lawsuit brought by the U.S. Consumer Financial Protection Bureau against Zelle's operator and 3 owner banks in December for rushing the service to market without adequate consumer safeguards.
All right. You know what's terrible? Honestly, guys, hold on one second. This is hold on one second. I'm going to give you a visual. Let's see. Okay, this is what goes to my mind, like immediately. Okay. Hold on, right here. Okay. This is Zelle. Zelle. You were supposed to be the chosen one. Like, Zelle is made by the banking industry. It's directly intended to compete with Venmo and PayPal, except it's from the banking industry, so it's supposed to be better. You're supposed to be better than this. And now half of all transactions are like fraud or whatever, originating from social media. God dang, man. No, not Ric Flair woo. What are you doing? No. There we go. All right, so listen, here's the deal. This is why we can't have nice things. Period, full stop. People make dude, if you've ever done I went to a Pokemon card swap thing the other day and bought some stuff for my kids. And it's like everybody's taking like Venmo or PayPal and stuff like that. Literally no one mentions Zelle, just saying. But I do use Zelle to make some payments and stuff. And they're all basically the same. And because fraudsters are able to socially engineer people into sending money, then Zelle is, basically not allowing that anymore. Now, I don't know how you're going to be able to determine if a transaction is coming from a social media account, only because every time I've used Zelle, it's like, what's your email address? I put in your email address, I send it to you, and then it says like, are you sure you want to send whatever, Kimberly, money, or, B-dubs money or whatever? Like, are you sure you want to do this? Yes, I want to do that. So, I don't know, but what's going to end up happening basically is that this is going to be more inconvenient for people. Welcome to Friction City, population U. Now, the one thing I do want to point out is many banks are using Zelle and accepting Zelle. Like I mentioned, this is the banking industry's solution, but Chase Bank is the one who's updating their policy. So I don't know if this is going to impact everybody that uses Zelle or only people that use Chase as their back-end bank infrastructure or whatever. So whatever. You know what, guys? I hate to say it. Like, sometimes, you gotta, I guess I appreciate this, right? Because it will introduce friction and it will suck for a lot of people who are just trying to buy a, I don't know, like a Chanel handbag on Neighborhood Swap Marketplace on Facebook or something like that. It's going to be a pain in the A. But you know what? People, if they want to buy the, the Dyson hairdryer, right? If you want to make the transaction, you want to split some money because Eric Taylor is smoking like 100-pound beef tenderloin and you want to throw in on it, then you'll figure out a way. You'll use Venmo, you'll use PayPal or whatever. I also want to point out that threat actors are not idiots, okay? I know we like to pretend they are.
You are so dumb. You are really dumb, for real.
But threat actors are going to just start saying, hey, send me Venmo, send me PayPal. Like, I like, this is such a half measure. Like, yes, okay, Zelle won't be used for committing crime anymore. They'll move to PayPal or Venmo. Now, if there are defensive controls in place to prevent fraud from happening, or safeguards, as they put it, on the Venmo side or PayPal, why can't Zelle just adopt those and put them in place? I know for one, I did a Venmo transaction over the weekend, and like I had to put in the person's last 4 digits of their phone number also, which I had to ask them for in the moment because I didn't know who they were. So there is that. But again, like, a threat actor is just going to text you the 4 digits of their phone number. So a little bit of a half measure. Here's the thing. I wouldn't even message your end users about this because they're going to figure it out when they can't make the transaction. If you did want to like high five and send some value to your end user community that really has nothing to do with cybersecurity for your organization, you may want to send them a note saying, hey, listen, a lot of us use PayPal, Venmo, and Zelle to do online transactions. Just make sure whoever you're talking to is in fact the person you're talking to, because and give them like one example of a fraud case, like kind of detailed, because it'll read like right now people love like crime drama. Okay. Like let me ask you this, if you're a crime drama person, and let us know in chat, like crime drama is blowing up as a niche, I guess, of like, I guess interest, because it's not fiction, but like it's really interesting. People love it. So if you can craft a fraud story of someone doing online fraud through like PayPal, Venmo, or Zelle, you'll get your end users to read it and hopefully protect them from getting ripped off. So this is one of those ones where you can actually invest in political capital with your end user community without and modify their behavior, GRC Mafia, without making it about your work. Okay, let's go. Crime drama is so hot.
That Hansel's so hot right now.
Finastra notifies victims of October data breach. The London-based financial software provider serves more than 8,100 financial institutions in 130 countries, including 45 of the world's top 50 banks. Finastra is now warning an undisclosed number of customers via data breach notifications that an unauthorized actor accessed an internally hosted secure file transfer platform system between October 31st and November 8th. Although Finastra characterized the risk posed by the data leak as low, the company is providing 2 years of free credit monitoring and identity restoration services to those affected. The breach is believed to be linked to a now deleted post by a threat actor on breach forums claiming to be selling 400 gigabytes of stolen data from Finastra's network.
Oh my God. So hey, really quick, just going back to this last story since we're kind of talking here. Cyber threat with Jay says, I'm confused. I don't use Zelle enough or social media buying. How does Zelle know it's a social media buy? We're just sending goods and services. Well, I'm 100% with you, Cyber threat with Jay. I've used Zelle a few times. And I've done it like over the internet, right? I've sent Zelle money to someone who like wasn't physically with me. But to me, there's no tie to social media unless you were doing it through, like if Facebook offered a pay with Zelle option or something like that. So I don't know, honestly, but there's some way to do it because they're saying that they're going to be able to do that. All right, so fintech company gets hit with data breach, victims are screwed. Whatever. Well, hey, it's a day that ends in Y.
Welcome to the party, pal.
Welcome to the party, pal. So if you Finastra, I don't even know if Scott B with the squad membership. Thanks, Scott B. This is a London-based financial service company, and it sells software to 8,100 institutions. So see, this is one of those ones. Like this is a supply chain attack. Just like no one knew that their data was in Snowflake. Finastra, they're a B2B company, I believe. They're providing software to other financial institutions. But guess what? It's our data. It's my data, Mel Cobb's data, Lara Flores' data, Angular's data, all up in here. And we're getting hosed. Let's see. Third-party access to a secure file transfer platform. All right, so just because it's encrypted, this isn't your dad's FTP. This isn't Eric Taylor's FTP, okay? This is Casually Joseph, Gen Z. We're all secure up in this piece. Doesn't mean that it can't be breached, right? They probably had credentials, if I had to guess. Unauthorized third party obtain certain files from SFTP. So SFTP is Secure File Transfer Protocol. It basically just allows you to download or upload files. That's it. Fun fact, if you do see an FTP service, you can absolutely man-in-the-middle attack and sniff all those packets and then recreate the files and the credentials if you want. Just a little fun exercise if you're doing it. Not that really FTP is used all that often. Okay, dude. So somebody went in and downloaded some files. They say certain files. That's stupid, right? Like, they know what files were accessed. If they know it was certain files, they know what files were accessed. And then they say, your data wasn't copy, retained, or shared. We don't believe it was misused. Oh, come on. I hate when they say stuff like that, man. Notifies victims. Okay? So there were people's PII in here, but according to their investigation, they have no reason to suspect your information has or will be used. So here, some threat actors got your data, but trust us. You're good. You're good, baby. I don't know. Like, it doesn't make me feel great. All I will say is standard practice. Oh, here's your 2 years of credit monitoring. Enjoy that. I like to think of credit monitoring as a tire fire. There's always another tire to throw on there, and it's just burning and stinky. This is a whatever story, guys. Your data can get hit and leaked through a supply chain attack. It's your customers and it's you and I whose data is going to get compromised, not really the business data. Have a plan, guys. Every one of us works for a company, or most of us work for companies or want to work for a company. Highly probable that the bigger you are, the more likely you are to have some type of data breach around your own or through supply chain. Do it as a tabletop exercise. You really should have some plan in place on what do we do if a third party leaks our customers' data? Simple question. It's a very simple question. Go grab some Krispy Kreme donuts, or if you want to get all fancy, go to Panera and get a mixed bag of bakery goods, Or if you want to get your pinky up, go to Aubonpon. I don't know if you guys have Aubonpon where you are, but like that's like real fancy. Oh, and that reminds me, that gives me my tip for my Tidbits Tuesday. We're going to do in a second. You guys are going to love that tidbit. But anyways, this company got hit. Your company could get hit tomorrow. Just be ready.
South Korea removes DeepSeek from app stores. South Korea's Personal Information Protection Commission announced that the DeepSeek app has been pulled from the Apple App Store and Google Play as of Saturday night. The move follows several South Korean government agencies banning employees from downloading the chatbot, as well as numerous reports highlighting security and privacy weaknesses with DeepSeek's platform. Taiwan and Australia have also banned DeepSeek from all government devices. South Korea's data protection watchdog said the AI model will become available when improvements and remedies are made to ensure it complies with the country's personal data protection laws. Despite the suspension of new downloads, people who already have DeepSeek on their phones will be able to continue using it, or they can access it via DeepSeek's website.
All right. DeepSeek's been banned from stores in South Korea. That's the story. All right, let's go.
And now, we'd like to thank today's episode sponsor, Scrut Automation. Scrut Automation allows compliance and risk teams of any size to establish enterprise-grade security programs. Their best-in-class features like process automation, AI, and over 75 native integrations reverse compliance debt and help manage risk proactively as your business grows. Visit scrut.io to schedule a demo or learn more. That's www.scrut.io.
All right. Hey, Dad Body Medic. We listen to this song every day at the mid-roll, so if you like that, do come back. Hopefully you don't have a call to go to. All right, guys. Hey, check it out. Thank you all so very much for being here. This is called the mid-roll, and we're partying up in this piece. Guys, I want to say thank you to all of you. Thanks for being here. Space Tacos, Alpha Sierra, Stones fan, Real Bilbo's up in here, Carrie, Suyukti, Bethany, Paul. Guys, thank you all so very much. Reminder, we are doing the show Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday live from Zero Trust World's Expo floor. I've got all this gear over here. I wish I could show it to you. We are going wide. We're going to have multiple. Trust me, tomorrow you're going to tune in and be like, holy crap. I don't know what it's going to be like. I'm doing a lot of new stuff, so we'll see how it goes. Guys, shout out and thank you to the stream sponsors. We already heard from Threat Locker, Delete Me, and Antisyphon. Straight killing it. Antisyphon, as always. Reminder, John Strand's doing a free pay-what-you-can 4-day, 16-hour course. Go to antisyphontraining.com. It's at the end of February. If you're looking to break in, hey, Real Dad Body Medic, or Dad Bod Medic, hold on, whatever it is. Dude, Nate, you're going to love this, Nate. Check this out. This is for Nate right here. Hold on, where do I look at the calendar? There it is. Look at this, Nate. This guy right here, this guy's awesome. This class right here, awesome. The price tag, $0, awesome. I'm going to drop a link in chat. This is for Dad Body Nate, or Dad Bod Medic Nate. Go ahead. Oh, dude, I can't. The URL's too long for YouTube chat. Just trust me, Antisyphon Training, or join our Discord, Dad Body Nate Medic. Here, check it out. There's a Discord link. All right, guys. Hey, I also want to say shout out to Eric Taylor and the gang at Barricade Cyber. Now, Eric Taylor is going to be doing your jaw jacking at the top of the hour. But right now, I want you to know that Barricade Cyber Solutions is dedicated to helping businesses from cyber attacks and recover from the damage done. Cyber attacks can cause massive issues for businesses, like bad, and send dedicated, hardworking business owners into turmoil. But guess what, y'all? Eric Taylor has tons and tons of experience. The whole team at Barricade Cyber, they know how to mitigate the damage done by cyber incidents. Believe that. You can check them out at barricadecyber.com. Get them on speed dial. Here's his phone number. Here's his Calendly. You got an active incident going on? Boom. You can get on his calendar right now and get solutions, get help. Do not go it alone. Trust me. Dealing with an active incident is going to be one of the worst days of your professional life. Don't go it alone. Get a partner. Thank you, barricadecyber.com. Guys, every single day of the week has a special segment. And Tuesdays is Tidbits Tuesday, where I share a little bit about me to see if we vibe on it, and maybe just to, humanize me a little bit and have some fun. All right, so check it out. I want to share this with you guys, and then we're going to do the la-la-la-las. So, Au Bon Pain. If you guys don't know what Au Bon Pain is, it's like this bakery, okay? All right, here we go. Now, I want you all to know this company is based out of Boston, all right? And in 2005, 2006, I worked a consulting engagement doing I did a 2-person cybersecurity commercial engagement. It was like my very first real cyber consulting gig. And we went to Au Bon Pain's headquarters, and I worked out of there for 6 weeks. Every day I would take the train in, for, like the commuter rail. So if you guys are in Boston, you know what I'm talking about. I'd take the commuter rail up, and then I'd get off, and I'd get over to Au Bon Pain's headquarters, and I'd work all day. The office is on the 2nd floor, and the bakery, manufacturing operation, is on the 1st floor. Here's the Tidbits Tuesday. They would be baking at like 4 a.m. in the morning. I'd get there about 6:30, 7 a.m. And they had this ridiculous spread right when you walked into the office of all these pastries. And the idea was anyone can have any pastries. Well, I'm like 25. I'm feeling pretty good about myself. So I would like double fist bear claws every morning. Didn't think anything of it. My good friend, he's like a brother to me, Pete, comes to visit me in Franklin, where I was living. And he shows up and he's like, whoa, he's like, dude, what's up with you? And I'm like, what? I'm like, I'm living my best life. He's like, dude, you are like peak Jerry. I've never seen you this heavy before. And I was like, oh my God. And apparently it's come to my attention that eating double fisting or sometimes triple fisting pastries every single day is not good for your waistline. So like literally him saying that to me, I stopped eating pastries like immediately, but and I got really into running right after that. So just so everyone knows, I went hard on pastries for about 6 weeks in 2005. So Au Bon Pain, hand me in the grips. All right, guys, let's go get our la-la-la-las on. Here we go. Thank you. Let me know. Have you ever fallen into the pastry trap? Let me know. All right, let's get going back into the stories and finish strong.
New Golang-based backdoor relies on Telegram. Netscope Threat Labs found a new backdoor targeting cloud apps to evade detection and using Telegram for command and control. The malware connects to Telegram using an open-source Go package to retrieve updates and listen for PowerShell commands. The researchers said the malware appears to be under development, with 3 of 4 supported commands now functional, and that a chat prompt is written in Russian. Netscope said the malware is very user-friendly and that its targeting of cloud apps creates complexity for defenders. The report also details the malware's indicators of compromise.
Wow, okay. So this is the this graphic is a Windows binary called Detected Easy, which actually looks like they make it look like this is a how you make the malware. This application right here actually can analyze malware, it appears, and give you some insights into it. It does just tell you what the compiler is, and it's compiled in Go, so like there's not a terrible amount of information in here. it tells you the computer architecture it can work on. It does have some buttons you can do for like a quick Yara rule or virus total lookup, I guess. It doesn't say the language is in Russian here, but whatever. Let me know, has anybody used this Detected Easy application? And does the community have any thoughts about it? I mean, it looks like it was built for purpose only, not for like they didn't have a UI person in here. This looks like a VBA program that I made like in 2001. But anyways, Netscope Threat Labs researchers discovered this backdoor using Telegram. Guys, I want you to know something, okay? C2 or command and control, and I'm going to steal a line from Mike Saunders. Mike Saunders from Red Siege, okay? This is what C2 is. This is C2, okay? You got bots, you got infections. There's some type of bot master. Now, it doesn't have to be a bot farm or a zombie farm. It can just be infections and backdoor persistence mechanisms, but the architecture looks the same. You've got these command and control infrastructures at the middle tier, and then there's some human sitting on the back end who can remote into the C2 infrastructure and now and be able to send commands to infected victims, be able to push new payloads to infected victims and stuff like that. That's all it is. But the command and control, that is where I want you to focus, because literally, oh my gosh, my nose is itchy. Literally anything that can communicate back and forth can be command and control. I personally got wrapped around the axle a little bit when I first was learning about command and control. And I was like, oh, it's got to be like a server and like with a web, like a panel to be able to interact with. No, it doesn't. It's anything that can send and receive communications. As long as you configure your payload on the victim machine to reach out to somewhere and know what to look for, you can command and control with anything. Telegram is a really popular option right now, but you could use DNS. You could use Google Docs, Dropbox, SharePoint. Like you could a web server. You can use anything, literally anything, as long as it can send and receive information. So don't think that it's like uber complicated. Again, Telegram's being used for all sorts of things. A lot of dark web marketplace interactions. And basically, if you see traffic from a host in your environment going to Telegram's infrastructure, it may be compromised, right? I mean, that doesn't mean there isn't a Telegram fat app you can run on your computer, but go threat hunting. Look, you'll also see some of the functionality that this piece of payload includes a self-destruct mechanism, right? So if the heat is on, right? If you think there's a detection or you accidentally, here's another thing, like you accidentally infect like, somewhere you don't want to be, like you infect like, I don't know, Russian government and you're a Russian operator and you don't want that, you can easily clean up after yourself with a self-destruct command. But this thing executes commands via PowerShell. So if you're looking, one of the good practices is not have end users be able to execute PowerShell, right? Leave that for any privileged users, okay? The fact that it's Golang is like, whatever. That's fine. Doesn't matter. To me, the programming language doesn't matter here. It's the C2 infrastructure and the detonation of, malicious activities on the victim machine, right? The Golang is whatever.
Pro-Russia hackers target Italian banks and airports. Early Monday morning, a pro-Russia hacker group, No Name 57, launched a wave of DDoS attacks that disrupted websites of major airports in Milan, as well as the Transport Authority, 2 major ports, and the Intesa San Paolo Bank. The Italian National Cybersecurity Agency, or ACN, swiftly mitigated disruptions and said there were no significant impacts to operations. No Name 57 linked their actions to Italian President Sergio Mattarella's comments during a speech in Marseille last Friday, with Mattarella comparing Russia's actions in Ukraine to the Third Reich. No Name 57 said in a Telegram post, quote, "For such comparisons, Russophobe Mattarella and Italy will receive DDoS rockets on their websites," end quote. The Russian Foreign Ministry also warned that such remarks would not go without consequences.
All right. So this seems a little bit ideologically motivated, a little you know, champion the cause. I do want to point out really quickly, No Name 57 is the hacker collective that's doing this. My first thought, this is a very specific shout out, but this should not be confused with No Name, the main character in the Hitman series, specifically Hitman 3, which Nick Barker did a marathon session on this weekend. Your Discord tattled on you, Nick Barker. Just so you know, we see you. All right, this guy's hitting banks and airports, or this collective. This is a perfect example of ideologically motivated threat actors. Now, a lot of times when we think of threat actors, we think of financially motivated and then nation state on nation state action. And that really is where we should be focusing our energy. But the ideologically motivated hacktivist is another one that should be given consideration to. It's just less often. Okay, Agent 47 is the main character. I'm calling him No Name, and 57's close to 47, so just grant me grace on this one, okay? All right. What did this guy do? So the Italian president made some type of comment, and this guy, or this collective, reacted in kind. Yeah. I mean, there's nothing you can do, really. I mean, if people want to... This is the equivalent of, like, protesting, or like not exactly the same thing as a fight club, but kind of like that, except on a digital one. He hit banks and airports, creating terror, getting the attention of leadership in Italy and scaring them, right? The president, dude, tensions are mounting between like NATO-based countries and BRICS-based countries. That's what it is. This guy's pro-Russia. He did it. When Russia invaded Ukraine, we saw a lot of pro-Russian threat actor groups mobilize basically and kind of get away from financial crime for a minute to do hacktivist type things. We saw the same thing on the Ukrainian side. So that's it. All right. Hold on. All right. Okay, so 57's Overwatch. Whatever. I was trying to get some Nick Barker action in chat, okay?
Microsoft spots macOS malware variant used for crypto theft.
Apparently, I've upset Gen Z.
Microsoft's threat intelligence team has spotted a new variant of the XCS set macOS malware being used to target victim digital wallets and data from their Notes app. The malware has been around for about 5 years and is typically distributed through infected Xcode projects. The current improvements are the first ones observed since 2022 and include more robust obfuscation techniques, added persistence checks, and new Xcode infection methods. Microsoft recommends inspecting and verifying Xcode projects and codebases cloned from unofficial repositories.
All right. Okay, whole bunch of like quick hits here. Get your lightning round on. Ready? Number 1, Mac OS operating system can have malware. The Microsoft threat intelligence team, they're very legit. I love the threat intel coming out of their place. So if you're looking for good threat intel, I like Unit 42. I like X-Force, not to be confused with the short run Marvel team, and Microsoft threat intelligence, right? Also, threat actors are going to work on improving their payloads. This is infected Xcode project. So Xcode is kind of like as far as I know, it's like the developer kit for Macs, kind of like Visual Studio for Microsoft Windows-ish. I don't know why you would download. Oh, it's infected Xcode projects. So honestly, guys, this is really no different than like someone downloading malicious NPM packages or PyPy packages or GitHub packages. The malware's in there, and when you introduce it, it can infect you. Now, this particular malware is targeting digital wallets, so it's going for crypto. That's straight cash, homie.
Straight cash, homie.
And it'll also steal data from your Notes app. So if you're keeping sensitive information in Notes, which I think is like really popular with Gen Z right now, careful. Malware's coming for your Notes. All I would say here is, this is technically this is more of an attack vector that would go to power users, right? Your general end users, your Aunt Dorotheas of the world, the Carls of the world, they're not downloading Xcode apps and compiling them on their workstation, right? Your executives who are most likely using Apple products are not doing that typically. So this might be one of the messages that goes out to more of the power users or the IT team. Hey, just be on the lookout if you're using Macs. There are Xcode projects that are coming pre-infected. Worth looking into if you do have a bit of a heavy Mac presence in your environment. Take a spin on some threat hunting in your environment, looking for this XCSSET malware payloads. It said in the story that they've updated their functionality, including persistence checks, better obfuscation, and stuff like that. Now, the obfuscation is not really going to help. Like, you've already found the code if you're at the obfuscation stage, because that's where obfuscation is happening. But you might be able to find C2 traffic going somewhere. I don't know where the C2 infrastructure is, but if they're stealing your digital wallets, believe me, they've definitely got C2 going on, because they want to be able to they want to be able to get that money, right? They got 2 persistence techniques. That's not uncommon, by the way. 2, actually, from what I've heard, 2 is actually not that many, right? Like Luke J, who's in chat sometimes, he mentioned 6. You got to remember, guys, if you discover a persistence mechanism, like, the threat actor doesn't want you to find one persistence mechanism and then they're out of the environment. So sometimes they'll, especially if they're like more advanced, they'll have multiple persistence mechanisms, but like the cadence will be less frequent, right? So like once every 15 minutes, and then maybe another persistence mechanism's checking in once every hour, and then another one's like once every month, right? So even if you think you've got it cleaned out, unless you like re-image the machine, it may still be infected. Don't even get me started on pre-obfuscation. I want to like shout at a cloud about that.
Microsoft to remove location history feature. Microsoft announced the deprecation of the location history feature from Windows, which can be accessed by applications like Cortana. The API behind the feature provides apps with locally stored location data collected in the previous 24 hours. Removing the feature means the data will no longer be saved locally, and the setting will disappear from the operating system in Windows 10 and 11. Microsoft has yet to provide the reasons behind deprecating location history. Developers will need to update their applications to migrate away from the API. Meanwhile, users can deactivate use of their location data at any time through their privacy and security settings.
All right, Justin Gold, if you can get the conspiracy engine turned on and fired up, we can get going on this one. Drop your politically safe thoughts in chat on why you think Microsoft might be removing this location history. It doesn't look like this is a request from a consumer base, or this was introduced. This was location history was fully baked in. So for them to remove it is deliberate and cost them money, whereas they could have just left it. Now, obviously, this is a privacy thing. Knowing the location history can be weaponized by creeps to know where you frequent, right? Oh, Jerry goes to Aubon Pan's headquarters every day. I also noticed that he pauses for 2 minutes at this one spot. Oh, it looks like it's a pastry table. So like location history can be very valuable to people who are trying to track you, figure out where you frequent, understand your patterns. Obviously, threat actors can weaponize this as well. Data brokers love themselves some location history, being able to sell that you walk past the same, storefront regularly. So like I could sell advertising to you because I see that you typically walk by this and then you go to a Starbucks. Again, not super nefarious, but if I open a coffee shop, wouldn't it be valuable to know who's the coffee drinkers and stuff like that? Yeah, geotagging, 100%. So I don't know why Windows is doing this, but it's good for privacy people. I mean, at the same time, though, like this is the same company that brought you Recall like 3 months ago. So, let's see. The Cortana virtual assistant can fetch location history of your devices. I will tell you really quickly, this will disappear from Windows 10 and Windows 11 operating systems. If you are running Zune or Windows mobile phone, I'm joking, but I wanted to make the nostalgic joke. This may impact your applications as well. I'm joking. Like who's really running around on a Zune right now? It is important to note, though, that like when any API is deprecated, it can introduce an availability issue for your tech stacks. So let's see. Device location was stored locally, right? I don't know. Long story short, this could introduce an availability program for the software in your environment. It's unlikely. I feel like this is more of an individual thing, but if your business relies on location history of where the app is, like I don't know, like maybe like like Waze or like one of these driving apps or something like that. I know that's more of the mobile sector than the fat client sector, but whatever. It could be impacted. Not a huge story. Kind of a weak sauce to end on, but it does introduce fun conversations at the bar on why this happened. All right, guys, we're rounding out. We're at 8:56. Got a couple announcements for everybody. Yeah, guys, if you don't remember, Gen Z will never know, but the Microsoft Zune. The Microsoft Zune was supposed to be the iPod killer. There you go. There we go. This is the Zune on the left. It was going to be the iPod killer. Instead, it wasn't. All right, guys. Hey, we had a great show today. I hope you enjoyed the crap out of it. Before we go, I want to remind people on a couple things. One, at 1 p.m. today, so 1 p.m. today, 4 hours from now, we are launching a brand new monthly series called Lunch and Learn. It's a lot of work, which is why we're only doing it once a month. But bring your lunch or a cup of coffee or whatever, no matter where you are in the world. I know it's not lunchtime everywhere, but you can come spend 1 hour and learn a practical skill or two. Today is our inaugural kickoff of the Lunch and Learn series for February. We're going to be talking risk management and NIST cybersecurity framework with my man Steve McMichael. I hope you can join us. GRC Mafia represent. Dad Bod Medic Nate. If you're thinking about GRC, which by the way, I got to tell you, GRC is hot.
That Hansel's so hot right now.
Come check it out. It's going to be all about good times. I also want to give a special little shout out to Simply Cyber community member. Hold on, what's that? Here we go. What the Shell? What the Shell's in chat right now, guys. Simply Cyber community member. He's actually running a podcast. He had some troubles. Threat actors got into his environment and basically got admin permissions and deleted his Discord server. So he got bummed out about that. But now he's reinvigorated and back on the move. So if you want to go check out Simply Cyber community member John Cordes' podcast, What the Shell, there's a link to it. Go check it out. I watched a little bit just to make sure that I wasn't being socially engineered. I liked it. I like what he's doing. I like what he's talking about. And you guys know that I'm huge on personal branding for content creation in the cyberspace. So shout out to him and hope he gets to rebuild back better. Guys, I am Jerry from Simply Cyber. Let me just tell you what's happening. I'm about to transition you over to Eric Taylor and get jaw jacking going. You're going to love it. If you have any questions, Dad Body Medic Nate, You're looking to get into cybersecurity. You probably have a million questions every single day from 9 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. Eastern time. We do a half-hour mentoring session at scale. All your questions answered. Please stay tuned. You're going to love it. I am going to go teach at the Citadel Military College right after this. Then I'm hopping in my car and doing 100 miles an hour for 6 hours straight down to Florida, where I'm going to be checking in at Zero Trust World 25. If you're going to be there, find me. It should be easy. I'm going to be loud and obnoxious. So look forward to high-fiving. Remember, Simply Cyber Team Meetup Wednesday night around 6 o'clock. Details to be shared on the Discord server under the con chat. I will be there. Kimberly will be there. Josh Mason will be there. Real Bilbo will be there. Chuck's, Dennis Keefe, Marcus Kyler, and so many others. So please, come hang out with us. I'm Jerry from Simply Cyber. Genuinely appreciate all of you. Thank you for staying for the show, being strong, helping each other. I love seeing the support in chat. You guys are amazing. Let's go get Eric Taylor. I'm Jerry. Until next time. Ever wonder what it takes to break into cybersecurity? Join us every weekday for Jawjacking, where industry experts answer your burning questions about the cybersecurity field. Live, unfiltered, and totally free. Let's level up together. It's time for some Jawjacking.
What's up, everybody? Hope everybody's doing well today. Finally getting some rest and everything from all the crazy travels we've been doing. Yep, as Joseph says, please don't forget to hit that like button. If you are new here, my name is Eric Taylor. I am the CEO, Chief Forensic Operator here at Barricade Cyber Solutions, where we do digital forensics and answer response and IR retainer. There's my shameless plug. Blah, blah, blah. Actually, no, Carrie. I'm on copious amounts of water at the moment. Good sir. Trying to get my blood pressure down. What's up with you? The real Bilbo? I don't know. But what's going on? All right, so if you're new here, please put a the Q and colon, and it will say, or that way I could be able to quickly discern you or be able to find you, because our illustrious DJ BSEC is not in the green room and able to help me filter the questions out. So I'll have to get DJ BSEC to update the Nightbot with a Q and a colon, not just a Q in there, but I'm not praying that it goes down. I just need it to go down, and it will. So it'll go down. The cholesterol has definitely gone down by drinking more water. I mean, it works. So fun or unfun fact. How about this? Whatever your body weight is, you're supposed to be drinking half of your body weight in ounces in water, supposedly. So I feel like I'm waterboarding myself lately. Maybe I should switch over to diesel, because you can't really waterboard yourself with diesel, right? All right, question coming in from Carrie. I have a certification from Corsia. Well, congratulations there for healthcare IT. Just wondering how good this stuff from Corsia is. I'm going to figure out what I can do with it now. I don't know. I've heard of the name Corsia, but I don't know how well it relates in terms of credibility for courses. I've said it before, Carrie, especially a lot here lately, especially within the last month, and you probably have heard it, and this is going to sound like repeat 5,000, but I would strongly recommend finding out what type of organization. It sounds like you may want to do healthcare, which is very cool. There's a lot of need for it, because I've been very salty. A lot of healthcare organizations just think they're special because a lot of them just will say, oh, well, this is healthcare, so we're not going to hit them with ransomware. But Let's just be honest. All these, the healthcare is literally one of the most targeted areas. And I want to say this, if it does not impact patient care, nobody will get hurt from a ransomware attack or anything like that. And then I'm kind of for healthcare being impacted. Again, without, harm to people, only because I want their ego put in check a little bit. Because literally you'll see threat actors say, well, if it's a healthcare, we're not going to impact that because it's impactful, right? That they don't want anybody to die. Of course, not every threat actor adheres to that standard. So, we've seen it where healthcare organizations are being impacted by ransomware. It's been a while since I've heard of anybody getting worse or passing away because of it. But, yeah. Yeah. So what I was going to say is, because it looks like you're going for the healthcare sector, I would look at the local hospitals and local companies that support the healthcare industry in your geographic location to see, in their past job postings, what kind of requirements that they require for getting your position, and that will help you, talk to them. It's like, and some of them will even have a conversation with you, be like, hey, I know you're not hiring for this right now, but I'm trying to get in the industry. Just want to pick your brain on, different certification bodies, things of that nature. And some of them will, if they've got the bandwidth, they'll help you, because I mean, a hospital is there to help. So not everybody naturally, but hopefully it helps. From Ross, how do you balance work, YouTube, learning new, highly technical skills, and a business? Do you use a particular workflow? Thanks. Ross, yes, I use my calendar a lot. I live and die by my calendar. Like, I even put in my PTO, like, I'm going to go to a doctor's office. I mean, it's very goofy, you would think. Like, why would you put that in there? But it's because I need to make my time as much as possible. I've even blocked out time for forensic reports, right? So, because a lot of times I'll step away, go spend time with the family, the puppies, whatever. And I'll actually have a 4-hour block, 6-hour block just to write a report. So that will bring me back into the work life as much as possible. So again, live and die by the report, the schedule. And I also have talked about it using a notepad or a notebook. So, we use these. I've talked about it. On the top of it, it even has a date on there. I'll literally list out all the stuff that I really need to get done. Put a number 1 for the most critical, 2 for it would be really nice to have done today, and 3 for it's important but not a need to have done today. And I just work the list as much as I can, right? So hopefully that helps you. But that's mine. Everybody's workflow policies are a little bit different. It literally is a trial and error, man, to find out what works best for you. Best study course for Security X, formerly taking it a few weeks. I can't find much out there, and the comp TIA course and labs are awful. Glibia, I don't know. So I don't even know if that's like an open book test or not. If it is, there's a concept called indexing, where you'll literally make an index on a sheet of paper of where to find stuff and everything like that. And you can be able to use that, but I don't know. The training stuff is an ongoing problem. Question: CompTIA or EC Council for Security Plus and Cyber? Oh, fudge. Do Black Hills. Neither. How about that? Neither. Do Black Hills. Go to Black Hills. Do theirs. EC Council is very toxic. And CompTIA, there's a lot of shakeup going on around CompTIA. So, I mean, if you can, just do Black Hills and be done with it. My younger brother graduates with his bachelor's in cybersecurity this summer. Congratulations. He can't get an internship anywhere. Any suggestions? Unfortunately, no. Yeah, this sounds like it's going to be a doom and gloom jaw jacking session. And I really don't mean it to be, but a lot of these things are just that. So there's a lot of layoffs. There's a lot of talks about layoffs. There's a lot of talks in the last couple of the weeks where I'm meeting with other business owners and they don't know the job market. They don't know what their business is going to look like in 4 to 6 months. There's a lot of shakeup, a lot of stuff going on politically and economically, and there's just a lot of people that don't know what to do. So everybody's holding fast, right? The automated rejections from the quick filing of, LinkedIn job postings and stuff I'm seeing as record highs. So it's definitely, there's a lot going on. And I really hate to say it, but just hold on. This is going to get a bumpy ride, right? I mean, let's just, this isn't very political, but look at the bird flu that's impacting the eggs and chicken situation. I personally would not have thought that we would still be having this issue a month later. Personally, eggs are at an all-time high. And it's not a Biden or Trump or Obama or whatever problem. It's a freaking bird flu, right? I mean, a lot of people are trying to pin it to one person or another, but it's the bird flu. So chicken's going to be hard to come by. Eggs are already hard to come by. If you can get eggs, I think we actually got some eggs at the local Walmart to be picked up today. And I think a carton was like $9. So you're making an omelet, man. You're having an expensive freaking breakfast, right? I mean, to say that, and you take a look at, y'all may have seen that before, but layoffs.fyi. Let me bring up my sandbox. Bear with me 1 second. I have not checked this in a couple of days, but when I was looking at it last week, make sure I'm bringing up the right page real quick, and then I'll share my screen. Yep. Yeah, let me minimize this because I will play a sounder I have not been able to play in a very long time. So we'll do that. We'll do this. We'll do this. And we'll play the sounder. Right. So layoffs.fyi. If you have not seen it, get acquainted with it. Right. But we're seeing, more and more layoffs happening. This is all, this guy, I say guy generically. I don't know if it's a group of people, a guy, a gal, or whatever, but, this individual, I guess I should say, has been tracking this stuff since pretty much COVID. Oh, yeah. Been tracking since COVID-19. There's right there. So, we were watching this in the sector, and this individual or group of individuals have been, kind of just keeping up with stuff. So, I don't, an aviation company got acquired. Okay. Not really saying that that's going to be a layoff. They just may be absorbed by the new organization, right? Blue Origin, that's another aviation, right? Yeah, aerospace. Sophos has got a 6% layoff, unknown numbers. Redfin, the organization that does house listings, competitor to Zillow to some degree. That's not a whole lot, 450 people in the grand scheme of things. Meta was talking about, layoffs of 5%. I thought it was 6, but 3,600 just works. I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on, right? And it's just over and over and over. So when we go back into December, yeah, you see some, but you see spans, right? And it doesn't seem very impactful. But here in February, we're having multiples and triples and everything. And it's like day after day after day after day. So I don't know what to make of the situation. I can just say the writing on the wall clearly states that there's a lot of discomfort in the industry or in the job market. So I don't know. Question from Shane. What's up, Eric? Good morning. Good morning, Shane. What tools do you use for DFIR? And also, what resources do you recommend people who are interested in DFIR? Okay. So tools that I use, to be honest with you, a lot of it is just command line. Manual review, some bigger cases, and I got a lot of data ingest. We do use Magnet Axiom. We are working with CrowdStrike Falcon to ingest case data for that with their log collector. So we have conversations going on with that, trying to get that solidified. I know a lot of people use Antispy. Was it FK or X case or X? Hold on. There's one other one. I'm trying to remember what the name of it is. X-Force knows that's IBM. Unless IBM bought that. There's another tool that not a whole lot of people use. Yeah, X-Force, that's their threat intel. What is that other tool? Bear with me 1 second. But while I find that, I have found a dude, I forget what his name is, but he runs a YouTube channel called 13 Cubed, and he's really, really good at what he does. So it may be worth, looking at his stuff and trying to learn more. He does have some training, so that way you could be able to learn more. So I'm just reading through some articles, and I can't find it. So yeah, I guess just talk about AutoSpy. That's another one. But drones are different. So drone data, it's literally just an SD card reader because you're just pulling the metadata and everything off of the SD card or the cell phones are different. I mean, the tools are different depending on the application that you're using, right? So hopefully that answers your question. I know it's kind of vague, but it really is. It really is application and case specific as to, because that's like saying you have a sledgehammer, and while it may be good to drive a post down for a fence or ground rod for your electrical system or something like that, or demoing a wall, a sledgehammer is not really good at taking out a dent in a car, right? Or putting windows into your house. It's not good for that, right? So it's really about the application that and the investigation that you're using it for. With the ongoing Doge, is cybersecurity for the government worth trying to get a role there or focus more on the private? I would say private sector right now. Again, there's a lot of shift going on. We don't know where things are going to land with a lot of different aspects. And I fully suspect with Doge, and again, this is not a political show. If y'all want to get political, I'll start up another stream on mine, and I will talk ad nauseum and get political as I'll get out, to the point where everybody wants to cancel me, and that's fine. I don't care. But that's not the rules of this particular podcast. But we don't know where CISA primarily is going to land with everything. I don't see like CISA being abolished, but definitely, I've said it before, I think it's going to get repurposed to strengthen the internal infrastructure for the government sector, the DIPCAC, and being able to secure, aka critical infrastructure, the electric grid, the water grid, the water plants, things of that nature, things that it hadn't done before. Because while there was a lot of effort being pushed for, like, you guys seen it, what was it, 2 years ago, maybe a little bit longer. One case that sticks out to my mind where the FBI went in and closed vulnerabilities on on-premise Exchange servers to prevent a hack going on. And that's not typical stuff that happens from three-letter agencies to protect the private sector, right? So, but at the same time, you're seeing municipalities and everything else being compromised. So I do think CISA and all the supporting things will be repurposed in that aspect. So there will be a higher need for qualified individuals to help with those efforts. I just don't know what that timeline is going to be, and nobody really does, at least on this side of the political fence, right? We can all have pure speculation and things of that nature, but we don't have a clear line of timelines or anything like that. If I was to be a betting man, I would say within the next 4 to 6 months that we will start seeing an intick in some of that stuff. All right, trying to get caught up, ladies and gentlemen. I don't even have Discord up. Bear with me a second. Why is my Discord not loading? I hate Discord. My personal pet peeve. The little ghost thing or whatever is stuck on checking updates. I guess I need to rage quit it. Try to force it again. So sorry, mods, if you are talking to me in Discord, I cannot see you. All right, James Randolph, how can we measure zero trust? It still feels like mostly a marketing term I cannot measure. Can you hold on? Hold one second. Hold on one second. Hold on. Please stand by to stand by. So I need to do this, and I need this to go away, and I need this to go here, and then I need to bring up the question again. Smells like a steaming pile of. It was perfect for that. Thanks for giving me the grace to get that set up. Yeah, zero trust really is. It's zero trust. So do you have any unknown / unmanaged assets inside of your environment? Yes. Absolutely. outside of my network, here in my small bubble ecosystem, my silo office, if you will, I know every asset that's on my network because I monitor it. But it's also a very small network. It's under 100 devices. And I've got multiple VLANs. Got my trusted, got my corporate, got my guest, got my IoTs. I've got it segmented out, right? But I know everything that's on there because I went in and removed DHCP, then cleared everything out. And I set a very small DHCP range where it's only issuing out like 5 or 10 IP addresses. I forget. So the range is very small. And it's my default VLAN. So anything that connects gets on the default VLAN. Then it doesn't have internet traffic. It doesn't have any of this stuff, right? So yeah, you can get on network, but you can't get online. And unless other devices are in that default VLAN, you're not seeing any other devices either. So once a device is on and it's like, oh, we can't get online, I'll look at my system. I'm like, oh, that is you. I will move it to the proper VLAN and I will tag it in the system because sometimes it just shows up as iPhone or Samsung, XG, blah, 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 in some numbers, but pretty much the last 4 or 6 numbers of the MAC address, I believe, if memory serves me correctly. So I'll be like, oh, that is Adam's phone. That is John's phone, Carly's iWatch, or whatever the case is, right? And that's really where you get to zero trust. You're not trusting anything on your network that you have not identified and allowed to be on your network. So yes, a lot of everybody's like, oh, zero trust, blah, blah, blah. And there is a different side of that. So yeah, internally, zero trust, boom, right? Externally, and I just had this brain overdrive. So zero trust is also like let's take password managers. We talked about this for a while on previous episodes. Password managers are typically non-zero trust. Like you could be able to reset, you can be able to take over someone's password manager, things of that nature. It's not a zero trust platform. Like, do I have the piece of paper around here? I don't think I do, where I can just kind of hold my hand over. Yeah, I think it's going to show too much sensitive information. Okay. So 1Password literally has a sheet as a recovery code. Without that sheet, with that recovery key, you're SOL. And we even provide it as part of our organization. Like everybody gets 1Password as part of the org, right? I cannot go into anybody else's account and look at what they have set up for freaking Bob's Pizza Shack, and be able to log in as them, and or that way I can log as that person and see what they ordered last Friday because I may want the same thing, right? So like even 1Password can't recover it, things of that nature. It's a true zero trust platform. So you hold the keys to the kingdom, and that's pretty much the way it is. So it is very hard to maintain zero trust. To expand it, I'm not sure what my it's going to sound bad, but downstream team members of the organization, I haven't looked at it very carefully. What do they have on their network, right? We do have it where the Windows firewall will block incoming traffic. So, if you have a port sniffer in your environment that you plugged in, looking for universal plug and play UPnP devices to bridge a connection, like a lot of IoT devices do, some NAS devices, things of that nature, it's not going to find our trusted device. So I know, very long-winded. Hopefully that helps. But zero trust is a massive pain in the backside. It's kind of refreshing to see. Discord is still not happy. Oh, hey, Ray, it finally opened. Make sure I'm not missing anything in my mod chat. Bilbo. Oh, so you're saying your name is the real Bilbo? Okay, I see. I didn't different, or I didn't read as Bill and Bo as two separate words. So I literally thought Bilbo was a word. Again, I do my best, ladies and gentlemen, not to make assumptions. That's how I butcher so many names. All right, it does look like we're caught up on that, and we are at 9:30. I'm pretty sure. Excuse me. Do a quick scan here. It is Bilbo, one word. Thank you, Joseph. Thank you, sir. Joseph, is your news public yet? I don't think it is. Probably not. I'm not seeing anything coming up on his. Oh, that's tomorrow. Okay. All right, so I have time for another question or two if anybody has anything. Question's been pretty late. 260 of y'all, beautiful people. Let's keep going until tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. I could talk ad nauseum about so much stuff. I figured as much. Mods, I figured as much. Sorry, I'm just very happy for an event to be coming up soon. Just can't wait to see how it plays out. So I'm very happy for it. And sometimes I get overzealous to share news. That's why I always check. FedEx asks, just got a Blackstone. What should we be doing? Or what should we be doing it? So I get what should be. So there's a YouTube guy. So I would say I do a lot of stuff. I don't have Blackstone, even though Mrs. Barricade often refers to my Trigger Flat Rock as a Blackstone. It's just an easy thing for her to remember. And I know I'm typing over here and you guys do not see my screen at the moment, which is fine. I will share in a second. I will just bring it. I'm just trying to stand up the sandbox. There we go. Make sure I had internet connection first. I will not share system audio because I do have emails and everything else up. I think it's the flat. Is it 2 words? It is 2 words. So yeah, this dude used to be was a chef in the Navy, and he does some pretty cool food. This one I watched last night, Better Than Fried Rice. It's pretty much the same thing. Now audio shouldn't tank out because I'm not sharing my audio. But we'll just do this. Hopefully the ad goes away. Hurry up. Go away, ad. Go away, ad. Go away. Thank you. So he actually was doing a spinoff of the fried rice type thing. Let's see. So yeah, he's using noodles and stuff like that. And he put shrimp in it and everything. And dude, that looks so freaking good. So yeah, I mean, I would just say get inspirations. There's another dude. I can't remember. If I could, I know I misspelled that, and I don't care. There's another guy I want to find for you. If I can quickly find him anyway. Oh, this is another dude, Sam the Cooking Guy. If you're not watching him, definitely look at Sam the Cooking Guy. This is him. The Hungry Husky. This guy does a lot of stuff. So definitely look at his food as well. I've gotten inspiration from some of his things. So Traeger also, if I could spell, I can't spell. I can't spell at all today. And we'll go around and around. Recipes, they actually have flat top recipes here. So you can get inspiration from these. And I think BlackRock has some of their own as well. So definitely check them out. Let's see. There's actually one, if it's still here. Oh, yeah. So I did a little bit of a spin-off of this one, but this one turned out really good. So yeah, hopefully that gives you some insights on some stuff to do. But yeah, just literally get out there and cook. Question, what event? I'm not sure what you're asking about. I literally have unfinished breakfast in front of me, but this is still making me hungry. So you can't really do barbecue on a flat top. You know, it's a grill. I have been entertaining the idea of getting one of the pull behind. Oh, what is it actually? What's the proper name for it? Back to Google. Hold on. I just want to make sure I use the right term for it. Offset. That's what I was thinking of, like side load or whatever. But yeah, offset smoker. Yeah, I got to get some practice with it because it does require a lot of. I'm saying a lot today, and it's really. I'm hearing myself say it, so I'm really going to really hate the replay on this one. I probably won't because I already know I said it way too many times. But the offset smoker, you have to constantly maintain the temperature. So it does get to be a little bit more of a tedious thing, but you know, I may do something with the Simply Cyber Community coming up or something, or some other conference that's not too much of a pain to pull, or that great of a distance to pull something, I'll definitely have to get the like a dual axle one or something, because as light as a pellet or uh, offset smoker is, even though you can load it down with some wood and stuff like that, but you always seen it, going down the road behind a truck and it's just hopping and stuff like that. So I'm definitely going to try to get one that's a dual axle or something of that nature. So that way it's a little bit smoother of a ride for a pull behind. All right. But anyway, is there a good checklist or cheat sheet for securing home personal networks, or a resource you recommend checking out? I just go back to the zero trust, my friend. Go back to the zero trust. Go through, and most of them will let you put identifiers and tags and stuff like that. Start saying, okay, this is Bob's computer, this is Nancy's computer, this is Jill's iWatch, or Samsung, whatever. This is my vacuum, and start separating those things. Literally just use the tools of your hand. Go through and do asset inventory and management, and see what's on your network, what has been on your network. Start working through what's in there. So hard to dial in the temp. Yeah, the offsets are. That's really why I want to have some time just to mess with it. And I know I would probably have to be using something to help monitor the temperature, except for the gauge that's on the front of it. And I know a lot of the bigger offsets, the closer you are naturally to the heat source, the hotter. Most of the offsets have 2 or 3 doors. And so the further away you're up to the flute for the air regulation, it gets to be a little funky. So I'm up for the challenge. I just know it's going to be a challenge. Let's go with that. What news do you think needs to be aware that was not covered today? That's a good. I haven't looked at my CTI feed in a couple of hours, and I was actually pleasantly surprised to see one of the news topics that I had just come across was actually on today's feed. But let's see. This is yesterday. Oh, I actually was looking at this. This will come up on y'all's feed in the next couple of days. Let me double check. I don't think this is covered on today's podcast, but let me double check. I'll look at chat as well. Did they talk about BitLock or Blacklock at all today? Chase the Black Zone, South Korea, nuclear lane. Okay, I'm not seeing it there. So let me put this up. I'll put this in chat. I will not share audio. Share. Accept all cookies. Make sure that, yep, that did. So this is a new ransomware group. I have not come across this group yet in any of our cases. So this is definitely even a new threat actor to me. Which is not saying anything abnormally weird, because we are a much smaller organization. So we only have the threat intel from CTI feeds and what what cases we come across. So this is a new threat actor group, of course, targeting Windows, VMware, ESXi, and Linux environments. The typical ransomware as a service. So AKA they resell the the variant. Eric knows the cookie monsters to accept all cookies, and that this is literally a sandbox, right? So, you know, so yeah, this is the one thing that I did see that looks like the group called ReliQuest, I believe is how you pronounce it. It's a research organization, was saying that they're going to potentially start, or they think that their next target for infiltration is the Microsoft Intra Connect synchronization to help. That is the sync between on-premise and Exchange or Intra online. So if you're able to, invoke a bunch of permissions and things like that, so you're able to, really be able to get some things happening. So this is definitely a group to start watching and start, keeping TTPs on. Again, this is definitely a newer one, at least to me, so I don't have a lot to say about them, but they are definitely now on my radar to start monitoring and trying to see if I can't use some of my other tools to get some more details on. But I just saw this about 10 minutes before jumping onto here. So pigeon name is this Alfie. I didn't see anything in there mentioning Alfie at all. So, let me check this other portal. There's 199 of you beautiful people just hanging out, listening to me yammer endlessly. Oh, where's my phone? Because I'm going to have to MFA into this. For those who are on the stream watching, what in the world is this fat man doing? I'm getting into one of my CTI platforms. It's a new one that I'm beta testing out or getting a trial on. So it's definitely not in my primary CTI feed. Crawl date 2021. That doesn't sound right. At least it may not be with direct correlation to this. Telegram channel. Oh, that's just mentioning this. Really? One second, ladies and gentlemen. There we are. So it looks like, when was this posted? Do I need to log in first? I probably do. I don't have a login. So it looks like I'll have to get some more details on this one, but it looks like they were on some of the dark form websites talking about establishing a new, fresh, reliable partnership. And this is coming from the Blacklock ransomware group. So at present, the focus is on identifying highly skilled and driven individuals in the domain of penetration testing in accordance to the relevant industry standards and legal frameworks. Whatever. Bunch of liars. What is this? Sorry, I'm actually. I wish I could show you this. Legally, I'm not allowed to show this platform. But I will say that I can't because this is public. So this is interesting. This is where Blacklock or the post was saying. Now I'm picking it up. Now I am. Okay. This is where the research group ReliQuest was talking about potentially going into the intra, because they actually made posts about, or referencing, attacking the intra metaverse part 1 in their posts here. So they're looking for people to go after intra. So very cool. Very cool. So that's where they're making that correlation. It's kind of cool to see when you start piecing things together, and that's the fun part about CTI. When you're like, how did this correlation happen? And you're like, oh, so having really good tools, and this one that I'm on a trial for is not cheap at all, but for a newer one, we're already starting able to dig up some information on them, so that's pretty cool. So I can actually import that into my internal or our internal CTI and start tracking it a little bit more efficiently. So we are at 9:50. We definitely lost a ton of people in my complete rantings. And check mod chat. If nothing else has come up, then I will bid everybody a good day. Cheddar, yeah, Alien Vault or whatever it's called now, levels something, or I forget what they're called now. It's free to dabble. It is. I need something a little bit more in depth, right? So I am not seeing any other questions, comments, questions, concerns. Yep. All right, everybody. Y'all enjoy the rest of y'all's day. If you're still here, thank you again so much. I greatly appreciate it. Please share this out with somebody that you think that will benefit from it. And we'll see y'all next week. Take care, y'all.
There once was a kid whose passwords laid across all sites. They were the same, a criminal, then found their fame by taking that data to go. Soon may a criminal come to steal your pictures and data and run. One day when the crime is done, they'll steal your...
Hey everybody, I hope you enjoyed that content. Keep the cybersecurity train going by connecting with the other Simply Cyber community resources. We have the Discord server that's lively and always keeps the conversation going. You can connect with me directly on LinkedIn. And also every single weekday morning on the Simply Cyber channel, we're doing live daily cyber threat briefings, 8 a.m. Eastern Time, as well as Thursday at 4:30 p.m. We're doing live stream interviews with industry experts, and we produce videos that we push out every Wednesday morning. I'm Jerry from Simply Cyber. I hope you enjoyed the content, and we'll see you in the next one.